Welcome to The Man in the Middle. I am your host, Bill West. Today we're going to be talking about Picard Season 3, finally. I know it's been over a month since the series ended, but I have been extremely busy with, other things, you know, and I've been trying to figure out exactly what I felt about Picard for this last season. And I come to finally think of it, if this had been the first season of Picard, it wouldn't have ended. Uh, this was one hell of a season, and I really, if you could have trimmed some of it down, it would have been a great movie. You know, Picard, Star Trek: End of the Borg. Sorry, spoiler if you haven't seen it. Uh, I really fell in love with this series, which I was surprised because at the end I really hated season one. Season two was better than season one, but it wasn't great. At seeing the whole cast together again for one last time, that's what we should have gotten Star Wars. I mean, really, folks, we should have had one last ride with Han, Luke, Leia, Lando, and Chewbacca and the droids instead of what we got. At least for one movie, bring everybody. If you're hearing a thumping noise, that my dog is itching, so that's what you might be hearing. Uh, the story is uh, Picard gets a SOS from Beverly, and he gets Riker and 709 to help steal the Titan, well, the refurbished Titan, to take him to where Beverly is. And we find out there that Beverly and her son are on the run from, they don't know who, or we don't know who yet, but they're on the run. And Picard gets there, uh, rescues Beverly and her son, and the right before the ship they're on is destroyed by these bounty hunters. Uh, we find out later that these bounty hunters are in service to the changelings, or the founders from the Gamma Quadrant, which which was exciting. It was good to see Seven. It was good to see Riker. It was good to see Beverly. Uh, it, the Titan A. Oh my God, she's a beautiful starship. If you haven't seen the series, I'm sorry, but this is spoilers. And I haven't loved starship design since the Excelsior. My other dog is scratching her ear, so that's what the whining you're hearing. Hey. And really, the only problem I have with the Titan is that it's dark inside. You really can't see anything. We've we've seen, they showed some behind the scenes photos where the bridge was lit, and it's a beautiful bridge. Why make it dark? We get to meet Liam Sharp, Liam Shaw, sorry, Liam Shaw, who is the commanding officer of the uh, Titan, played by Todd Stashwick. Stashwick, oh yeah, Todd Stashwick. He's a great character. You start off hating the guy, and then throughout the series, he's a great character. You fall in love with him. He's really really good character. Uh, it's nice. We see the Borg again. Of course, Picard and the Borg are intertwined, and if we're not going to see Picard one last time without seeing the Borg one last time. Although I had a problem. They show the Borg pretty much this cube is dying. That's supposed to be supposedly the last of the Borg. It's the Borg Queen from or a Borg Queen based on the one from First Contact. In fact, Alice Krieg comes back and does the voice. What about the Borg from season two? What happened to them? Where did they go to? There's that whole. You know, I mean, you could you can fly a starship through it. They just boop. Another hole is something happened between Star Trek One or Season One of Picard and Season Three, because it makes Riker seem like he's left Deanna, which which is unfortunate. That's one of one of the power couples in Star Trek is William and Diana or Deanna. Yeah, another great thing of the series, and okay, look at my timestamp. Uh, another great thing of the series was episode 9, I believe it was. It was well, next to the last episode. We get to see the return of the Enterprise D. Geordi's been working on it, uh, and she's the only one who can save the crew, save the Federation, because her her computer system is generations behind the newest stuff, and uh, between the founders and the Borg, they've found a way to infect the entire fleet. And since since the Enterprise D's computers are so old, they're not able to be infiltrated by the new programming. And so they get in her and they fly her to the rescue. Uh, Before that, though, we see the Fleet Museum, which was cool because the Bounty's there, the Excelsior's there, a Constitution class starship is there. It's not it's not the Enterprise, because the Enterprise is remodeled. They show the Enterprise A is there. I say the Bounty, Kronos One. Some really cool. It's a really cool thing that they show that famous starships, not just human, but famous starships of the past are being kept, and you can visit them. There's also like the Section 31 Museum, where we find that they're holding the body of Jean-Luc Picard, the original body, also the body of James T. Kirk, the Genesis device, data B4, and maybe I don't know if it was B4 or new data, but there's a song android which has data and Lord's consciousness, and they're fighting over it, and they're fighting over the body, and data wins, of course. Almost everybody of importance was in data returns. Geordi returns. We found Geordi has two daughters. One's an engineer, one's a pilot. uh, Jean-Luc's son is a fusion of human and organic Borg, left over after he was infected. Jean-Luc, we find out, didn't have aromatic syndrome. He was infected by Borg nanites still, and that was what was causing him to be sick. And we found out that his son his son has the same thing, but they fix him. Where I'm trying to remember. Like I said, it's been a month. They had Worf. Worf is the jewel of this. I mean, Picard's cool, Riker's cool. I mean, everybody has some good sequences, but Worf, and then Worf and Rafi together are great. I mean, if you want a new series, We find out that Worf is in Starfleet Intelligence and he's Rafi's handler. Uh, my dog is trying to catch a fly. He, I mean, they have some great sequences. And Worf has some great lines. The only thing that was really missing would have been nice to see Wesley show up one last time. One of the things I didn't like was that it felt like the series didn't have its own soundtrack. They kept picking and pulling from the different movies, uh, especially First Contact, uh, musical cues, and it really pulled me away because I was like, oh, this belongs to this movie. This belongs to that movie. Oh, this is Deep Space Nine. This is Voyager. It really. I wish they would have came up with an original and then maybe dotted these in, but it was very hard to pay attention to them. For me, I'm very musical based. I love soundtracks, and these cues kept pulling me out. Uh, we finally get to see, of course, good overcomes evil. Uh, there's a sequence where Jack is takes over and he becomes this generation's Locutus. He becomes uh, the interface between Borg and humanity, and Picard has to go and save him. And of course, he does that, and it's a big happy ever after, leading hopefully to Star Trek Legacy. I'm trying not to be too spoiler. I have there's a there's plenty of action, there's plenty of uh, talking. There's a funny sequence at the beginning where they're celebrating the founding day of the founding of the Federation, and they go to Guinan's bar, and the only ship everybody keeps buying all the ships except for the Enterprise D. Yeah, nobody wants the fat one. Well, it turns out to be the fat one is the one who saves our asses. Uh, we get to see for 2 minutes the Enterprise F under uh, the command of Admiral Shelby, which is both good and bad. You know, it was good to see Admiral Shelby return. It was good to see the return of, or good to see the Enterprise F. We also get to see Ro Lauren. That was, it was cool. Like I said, I'm trying not to give too much away if you haven't seen it. Professor Moriarty shows up. Okay, boo. She's getting in the way. Like I said at the beginning, if this had been season one of Picard, they wouldn't have been canceled in season. Well, maybe if they had bad stories like they did, but this was Star Trek. It's probably some of the best Star Trek since it's since the return. I like I didn't care for Discovery past season one after they got rid of Captain Lorca. I like Lorca. He was pretty cool. He was a good captain. After they got rid of him, after his storyline was done, I didn't care for Discovery. Uh, I don't care for Lower Decks. I'm not saying that it's bad. It's just not. It just wasn't for me. I loved Prodigy, Strange New Worlds, but this was really good Star Trek, and if you haven't watched it, you're missing out. Okay, I've been long-winded enough on this. I'm Bill West. I am the man in the middle. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, drop a comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and you guys take care. I'll talk to you again soon.